Lord, heal what is broken in me. Use my story to show your glory. Fill my heart with peace and my mind with clarity and my steps with purpose. Remind me that every crack you mend shines with your light, proof that brokenness is not the end, but it's the beginning of something beautiful. Every single worry is just a reminder to talk to you, God. Emotional pain is not something to be hidden away and never talked about. Please help us remember the innocence of our past and to grieve to find joy again. You are here to help us, and we are here to help each other. Thank you, Lord. Amen. So, um, I was born a triplet, June 26, 1957, in Cincinnati, Ohio. We are three girls, and we are not identical. I am the third triplet. We are the oldest of 10 children, 8 girls and 2 boys. The three of us, the three of us had, let me turn this on real quick. Is it okay? Okay. The three of us had to become young mothers at 7 years old. That is when my mother had a nervous breakdown and everything changed for us. It's odd being a triplet because I have two sisters who share a lot of the same memories with me. When we were 7 years old, I remember a lady coming to our house and teaching us how to take care of the babies and how to sterilize baby bottles. The three of us were standing on kitchen chairs at the stove learning how to sterilize and fill baby bottles with formula. I remember taking care of my younger siblings for my entire young life and for most of my adult life too. As we all got older, my younger sisters would come to me with all of their issues and problems for me to fix for them. When they made a stupid or bad choice, they would come to me to fix for them. My triple sister and I graduated from high school in 1975. They got married right out of high school. I, on the other hand, stayed home and tried my best to help with the younger children. My dad moved the family to the Central Florida area when I was 20 years old. I met Alan at 22 years old in a bar called ABC in Castleberry. I married him a few years later. I thought I was in love, so naive. I ignored every red flag, and naively I thought I could fix or change him. This was the first huge mistake I made. I stayed married to this man for 7 years and had 2 children with him, a son and a daughter. I finally divorced Alan in 1989 after 7 years of marriage. Um, the one word I use when I refer to the marriage is nightmare. And somehow I survived by the grace of God. My son was 7 years old when I got divorced, and he did not handle things well. And basically was angry at me. He was always uncooperative and difficult for me. He started to smoke marijuana in middle school, and he started to get in trouble. He then started doing pills in high school, and things just got progressively worse. I spent approximately 15 years trying to save him. Naively, I was convinced I was going to save him from himself and the drugs. I refused to give up hope. I spent so much time taking him to court, getting him out of jail and emergency rooms and hospitals. I remember I used to think to myself, this cannot be my life. But it was, whether I wanted it to believe it or not. So many crazy things happened throughout the years, and I had to experience and deal with all of it alone. One morning, after a particularly difficult night with my son, I questioned if anyone heard my prayers. Then my room immediately filled with angelic music, and they sang me, "Here's your prayers." I couldn't believe. I was shocked. I couldn't believe what had just happened, what I had just heard. I felt blessed, like God has bestowed his grace upon me. It brought me peace and strengthened my faith. A few days later, my son needed $10,000 for a lawyer. I did not have the money to give him. I had always found a way to come through for him in the past, but not this time. I couldn't. So he didn't get the lawyer. My son disappeared for a few days. He called me and I told him I loved him. That was the last time I spoke to him. He never came back home. The next day, 2 detectives knocked at my front door and told me my son had died from a drug overdose. I believe that is the moment when my heart broke and I shattered into a million pieces all over the floor. I literally had no idea what to do with me. I felt like the universe had spit me out into the air, and I was just left hanging in limbo, thinking, what do I do? What do I do with all of this? What do I do now? I was all alone and completely devastated. I felt like the world grew very dark and just closed in on me. I sank to the ground and cried in desperation. For 14 years, I just isolated myself because all I did was cry. I had such guilt and shame. 14 years is a very long time to isolate. Those are years I will never get back, and I cannot undo. Isaiah 48:10. I refined you in the furnace of suffering. Psalm 34:18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those that are crushed in spirit. Exodus 14:14. The Lord will fight for you, and you have only to be silent. I know that there will always be trials and tribulations in life, but God will carry me through every storm in my life and give me strength to make it. Psalm 107:10. Then they cried out to the Lord in their trouble, and then he saved them out of all their distresses. God was with me and looking out for me even when I didn't know it or thank him for it. I've experienced a lot of death in my family. My brother was killed in a motorcycle accident at 19 years old. My father died. My son died of a drug overdose. My sister in law committed suicide 8 years ago. My ex husband died. My mother died of COPD. Then sister number 5 died, and sister number 7 died. I miss all of them, and it's hard to believe they are all gone, and I pray they are all at peace. My entire life, my mom and dad made poor decisions and irresponsible choices that they continuously dumped on me to handle or make better for them. It was very hard and mentally exhausting for me. Sister number 6 is an alcoholic. I spent many years of my adult life trying to help and save her. I finally had to let her go and am no longer taking on the responsibility of trying to save her. This is up to her now, and it is the best thing I have ever done for her and especially for me. I finally feel free and so happy to be finally free from all of her problems and issues. I have no guilt because I know I truly tried to save and help her. I have always believed in God. We were raised as Catholic. We did not go to church on a regular basis. My dad's family were all Catholics. I did not have a close relationship with God as a young child or as an adult. After I got divorced, I did attend church for a while, but I really started going back to church on a regular basis approximately 2.5 years ago at the University of Carolina. And my relationship with Jesus has grown tremendously since then. Two of my friends invited me to come to this church with them. I attended one Sunday morning in the summer of 2023. I quietly cried during the service, but felt very close to Jesus. I felt welcomed like I belonged here. I have been attending church ever since. One Sunday morning, Patrick was up front and talked about Celebrate Recovery. He said he would be out front to meet and speak to anyone who was interested in finding out more about the program. I met with him out front and we talked and I cried, of course, and he prayed for me. I went the following Tuesday, July 4th, 2023, and to my first Celebrate Recovery meeting and have been coming ever since. I got my first blue chip that night for grief and sadness. This past July 2025, I got a 2 minute medallion for grief and sadness. I've also gotten chips for isolation and received a 2 year medallion in October. CR has helped me to stop isolating, and I am very grateful for that. When Patrick gave a lesson on turning to Jesus, I got my third blue chip for turning to Jesus, and I got a 1 year medallion in May of 2025 for turning to Jesus. Ever since I made the decision to turn my life over to Jesus, my life has been changing slowly. Nothing drastic, but I have noticed some significant and small changes with me. Since I made the decision to turn to Jesus, He is graciously helping to heal and mend my broken heart and start helping to put me back together all my shattered pieces. I used to be ashamed and embarrassed of all my cracks, scars, and shattered pieces, but I am not anymore. Now I finally realize that it's through all the cracks and scars that the light gets in. I attend to Celebrate Recovery on Tuesday mornings. I go to various Bible studies on Wednesday mornings, Wednesday nights, classes, Friday moms, no more isolation. I completed the Celebrate Recovery Life Healing Choices class and the 9-month Celebrate Recovery Step Study program. Sometimes I ask myself, okay, who are you? Um, I can tell I've grown and am healing since attending Celebrate Recovery by the choices I now make and how I now think. I feel like I am a more compassionate and caring person. I don't judge people anymore. I have hope again for me now, and my joy is back. Once I lose my hope and joy, life becomes a very sad, dark, and lonely place. I feel like I have finally started forgiving myself. It's taken 15 years, but I have finally started letting go of all my shame and guilt that I have been carrying around for years. I now know that I am not responsible for my son's choices. He was. I could be there for him, but couldn't change him or make him do things my way. He was responsible for the choices that he made. I am no longer taking on any accountability for or guilt for his poor choices. I have let go of the shame and guilt I had when my life fell apart and came crashing down all around me. My growing relationship with Jesus is an ongoing process. I work at growing this relationship every day and try to live my life by what would Jesus do? What choices would he make in certain situations? Now that I have a relationship with Jesus, I now know I can go to him with my worries or concerns. I can bring them all to him and he will help me. This is a big relief and has brought me much peace. How I treat people has improved since Jesus is in my life. Celebrate Recovery Program has helped me in my healing process. Answering all the step study questions has made me dig deep and think hard for answers. My relationship with myself has improved greatly also. I like and love myself again. I know I am a loving, kind, and good person. For many years after my son died, I did not like or love myself anymore. When I am hurting, exhausted, angry, resentful, or stressed, I take it to Jesus. When I am worried, I just pray and give it to Jesus. My relationship with my daughter has improved. I let her business stay her business, and I try to stay out of it. My relationship with my grandsons has gotten better too. They truly love me just for being Nana, and they know that I truly love them. I have told them I will always have their back, and they can come to me with anything. I feel good, and it brings me peace knowing they know I am their safe person. My relationship with Jesus has grown too. I now honestly believe in him and know he is always going to be there for me. I love that I can bring anything to him, and he is always waiting and willing to help me. It brings me comfort knowing he did not get mad at me when I isolated and hid from him for 14 years. When I did come back to him, he graciously welcomed me back. He told me he will help anyone who comes to him and asks him for help. He wants to help us all. We just have to believe in him and ask him. I love that, and I love him. I always make sure to thank Jesus for helping me and tell him that I love him. I feel after 14 years, if I can start to get better and start to heal, anyone can get better. You just have to honestly want to get better, do the hard work, and ask Jesus to help you. I love how Celebrate Recovery gives me an opportunity to serve as a way of overcoming my isolation and connecting with others. I have served in the food ministry here for the last 2 years. I also agreed on the hospitality team at the CR events and parties, which takes me out of my comfort zone and into community with people. I remember how welcome I felt when I first got here and how it's important to me to make other people feel welcome. I'm also on the path to leadership and celebrate recovery and excited to serve Jesus any way he wants me to serve him. By giving my testimony, I hope I can give someone hope that they can get through the darkness and get through to the other side, to the light where the healing is. Thanks for letting me share.